Hey guys, welcome back. It's Maverick here, and today we are watching episode 5 of Redo of Healer. So, as you guys might see from my background, I'm not in my usual recording environment. I'm actually back at my parents' right now. This is my old room because it is actually Lunar New Year's right now, and this is kind of a thing we do. We go back and visit our family, etc., etc. Right? So, I'm using my laptop right now. I'm sorry, but the video quality and audio quality is going to be a little bit inferior to what I usually use, but hope this is only for one episode, so I hope you guys can bear with it, at least just for now, right? In any case, so back to the main story at hand. Last episode, we got Setsuna, formally joining the party. Now, obviously, this is just one more teammate, right? But we're still got lots and lots of story to go. Again, Keyaru has just started his actual revenge here. He's already down with Flare, but there are still many other heroes that he needs to take care of, and in fact, eventually all the way back up to the king of this current country, right? So, once again, I'm not going to spoil anything. Let's just get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Yes, I know. Viewer discretion and all that. Ah. Yeah. Remember this girl? Hmm? The sword. I mean, somebody did say that Keyaru was a little bit too how can I put it? Too over the top there in the last episode where he was fighting against the army, right? By utilizing the techniques of someone who's very famous and whatnot. And I mean that is true and all that, but well, if they didn't do that, there wouldn't be the development in this episode. So get prepared for that as well. And then of course we still have okay. I mean, I think that much should be obvious, like what you can see there, right? Who exactly is going to be part of his harem? And I mean, the episode title kind of spoils it as well, right? Hero finds a new toy. Oh, we're gonna have like censorship here as well. And of course, the way to have fun here is I mean, I wouldn't blame him, right? Yep. Oh, this is this is a pretty interesting censorship right here with the fish wiggling around. Can't wait to see the uncensored version of it. I mean, if it wasn't obvious by now, they're having a threesome. All right. It's just like, peaceful days. Right, the sun is bright. We're out in the open. Well, get some lovin', right? Like I said, can't wait to see the uncensored version. I think they actually show. No, actually, they do show a lot more than in the manga version. And once again, I am not going to be watching the uncensored version and putting it on YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. You know, why would you have that? I mean, it seems like he's just. Uh, oh, they don't need protecting. To him, it doesn't matter anymore because it's already been solved. In case it wasn't obvious, he would absolutely be able to kill everyone in there. Oh, there he is. Remember her, guys? Since it doesn't really count as a spoiler, one of the first people that he, well, actually, no, right. The very first, person that he healed. It's honestly really disgusting how every single thing in this world is completely, you know, is twisted. Yeah, he healed her. Right, he copied her abilities, but of course that can't give him a complete, right, because copying ability is one thing. You still need to have the physical prowess as well. I think he used that before, right? Yeah, he used that before. Why don't you guys guess what that is? Doesn't really matter to him, though. I mean, technically, he just told her the truth, right? I mean, technically, that's true. The funny thing here is that, this is, the thing that I find the most entertaining about all this is even though it's a lie, it's also the truth at the same time, right? And that's what's so funny about this entire situation because she really is Flair, right? Yeah. See, that's what I mean, right? Even though it seems like it's a big scheme by you know by Keyaru, and yet at the same time it's actually the truth. That's what's to me that's the most entertaining thing about this entire series. Hey, didn't exactly heal her of everything, right? See, that's a little bit different. Um, these two. I think this is a good, this is an even better still frame of censorship than before. Um, anyways, this that they kind of changed this bit as well because in the original it was the fact that she was still being affected by the effects of of the previous battle, and then once she learned that hey, Keyaru is actually you know a hero of justice, right, a paragon of justice, she decided, all right, it wouldn't be too bad to do it with him. There's no, I think what they're trying to imply here is that he did it again, just sort of like you know drug her once again. I mean, technically it's the same thing, but you know, I feel like they didn't really need to point this out once again. Oh, come on. If you're gonna give us a still frame, let us see Setsuna and Flare instead. Nope. Meanwhile, yeah, this next one. Do you guys remember who she is? Yeah, this upcoming arc is also going to be very important as well. But anyways, that's it for now, and I will see you guys after this. Alrighty, that was episode 5, and welcome Kuriha to the harem. Yes, she is going to be part of the main crew as well in the future, or at least, part of Keyaru's harem and whatnot. And I mean, it makes sense, right? She's strong, she's beautiful, he boned her, blah, 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 blah. Well, she's also, all things considered, one of the more, how can I say, the more good-natured, well-natured people in this anime. It is kind of a shame though that later on I felt like she seemed a little bit more ditzy, if you will. I mean, I'm sure that we can see more examples of that in the future episodes, but we'll get to that when we get there. But I mean, she does, at the very least, as her core, is a truly believing in justice and all that, and she is one of those in this particular work that really didn't do anything wrong, right? She is wielding her sword for justice and so on and so forth, and really not like all the other parts of the empire and within the army where corruption and debauchery is rampant with throughout. And also with this episode, I think we can also one of the most important takeaways is actually Keyaru's MO, if you will. The way that he always, well, I can't say always, but one of the ways that he goes about diffusing a lot of these situations. So there's two main things that I think we should take notice here. One is how he relies on his heal as the final crutch in most of these situations, right? The anime didn't really portray this, I think, really well enough. But within the original work, he actually struggled with this fight a lot more, right? And he was in much more of a dire condition than we see here, because Kuriha is actually really strong. And like I said, even though Keyaru can, can copy people's abilities and whatnot, you still have to rely on experience, which I mean, sure, certainly he can also gain the experience from them as well, but knowing is one thing, right? Doing it yourself is another entirely. And not only that, but you still have your physical limitations and restrictions. Like, sure, Keyaru can utilize his healing ability to sort of strengthen his physical prowess in a way, but it still is quite different from someone who's been trained since young to as a fighter, if you will. So Keyaru actually relies a lot on what we can call more dirty and underhanded methods, if you will, and then also all for the main goal of getting his hand to others and healing them, if you will. So being able to at that instant also kind of manipulate their memories or change their body structure, so on and so forth. That is going to be very important in the upcoming fights as well. So do take notice of that. The second thing here is also the part that that really tickles me the most is in how he utilizes flair as a as a sort of how can I put this? Putting up an entire act, right? The act where he's actually, the savior of the empire and all that, and Flair is actually working together with him. Princess Flair, not the Flair that he later brainwashed and completely wiped the personality of, but the actual Princess Flair, if you will, utilizing her her sort of authority and her sort of presence because she is beloved within the empire, and managing to basically kind of sort of fool others as well, right? And I say kind of sort of because, like I said, the most funny thing, right, the most ironic thing about all this is that even though he is trying to tell a lie, the lie that he's telling is actually the truth, right? So that's the whole irony of the situation, that the Flair that he's trying to make up into and play as the actual Princess Flair is herself the actual Princess Flair, right? And the things that he's trying to brainwash the others with, right, convince them of, the crimes of the Empire and how he's just trying to right the wrongs of the Empire and all that, that is all technically true, right? I mean, even for Keyaru himself as well, right? His ultimate goal right now, not only is to exact revenge, right? And that includes all the way up to the top to the leader of this current empire. And yet, the sort of revenge that he's seeking is also to right the wrongs of everything that the empire has done to him, of course, in specific, but also, the things that were done to him is a byproduct of all the corruption and the wrongdoings of the empire and all these people, right? So even though it's not exactly a one-on-one correlation or whatnot, it's still mostly on the same path, right? And so, yeah, he is a hero of justice, believe it or not. And yet he's choosing to pursue that route through a lot of these kinds of more, morally gray or in fact we can even say morally black methods, right? But an ends to the means, right? A means to the ends. So. I do love this kind of situation, and if you are a little bit more morally ambiguous or whatnot, but still mostly following, I feel like, how can I put this? If you guys follow like the traditional fantasy alignment charts and whatnot, right? Like good versus neutral versus bad, lawful versus anarchic and whatnot, right? Orderless, that kind of thing. I would say in a sense that Keyaru is more leaning towards what I call chaotic good instead, right? Because at the end of the day, he's still, he's not going to go about just killing innocents and whatnot. He's not going to just go about raping others willy-nilly out of nowhere. He has a set things that, to him, a lot of this stuff is actually, like the thing with Setsuna. It's more of a give and take kind of situation, right? I have what you want, you have what I want. We can help each other. It's as simple as that in a lot of ways. So, and the same thing with in this particular instance, the reason why he eventually snapped at the very end and decided to really involve Kiriha as well is because she actually hurt Flair, which, by the way, Keyaru is actually quite possessive, and he's shown it a few times already in the past episodes and so on and so forth. But let's just say that he cares a lot more about Flair and Setsuna than you might think through his words and so on and so forth. So do take that in mind. So anyways, we are given a little bit sneak peek of what's going to happen in the upcoming arc, and I have to say it's going to be quite it's going to be visually quite impactful as well, and I'm already thinking of some of the things that later on that happened. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty, right, for all parties involved. In fact, it's going to involve what I feel is one of the more genuinely sad situations within the anime here. So do look forward to that, and I will see you guys next time as well, hopefully in a better recording environment. So thank you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.